Hi, I'm Paul. For this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about suffering. But to start off, have you ever wondered why you're here? I don't mean here on Earth. I mean watching me, watching my videos. Have you ever really looked into why? What are you after? What's the reason? Is it because of hope? Perhaps you hope that I could give answers? Perhaps you want the truth, in which you say this must not be the truth. Perhaps it's because of suffering. Like many people on this earth, the majority is suffering. And we're trying to find a way out of suffering. Perhaps you have a tremendous amount of fear, loneliness, depression, lack of meaning to life. So then maybe you found spirituality. And you want to find the hope in spirituality that it will give answers and to help get rid of your suffering. Have you ever really looked into what you're really after? So you find spirituality, and then you start to learn that all this time you've been suffering because of the ego or the I. That I've been believing that there is a me here who's having thoughts, and spirituality tells us that there never was a you. So therefore telling you need to get rid of the I, and also the I was never even there in the first place. Which is terribly confusing. Perhaps it tells you that the problem what you've been having is thoughts. The thoughts are what create the suffering. So we need to get rid of thoughts, and then all will be well. But then maybe you find out that the I, the thought maker, the belief that there's me who's having a thought, is where the problem may lie. In fact, there isn't a me who's having these thoughts, but the thoughts are the me. So perhaps we have negative thoughts what create fear. Negative thoughts what say, I'm a loser, I don't know what to do. When we see this in our own mind as I'm the one who's having, or I'm the one who's experiencing these thoughts. And this is what's causing the suffering. But once again, we see it as it's not me having the thoughts. The thoughts are me. They are the contents of my consciousness, the contents of me. Perhaps the thoughts are only a part of me, but it's all the stored memories that I have created in my consciousness. So we could say that these thoughts are negative, setting me back, causing the problem. So why did I store negative thoughts? Or should I say negative memories? Why did I put negative memories into my consciousness? Well, you see, we've been conditioned into this language, into this describing the object and not seeing the object. You see, let's say if we didn't have thought, language, descriptions, and all we would have stored in our memory are the actual things of what we've seen. Still some maybe bad things. I'm sure many would be good things, but we wouldn't have this description. But it seems that because of the description of the condition in the society, that the things that we've seen, we've applied a description to. And we've used this description, as we've been taught, to create division between good and bad, right or wrong. So all the memories that we've stored inside of our consciousness have all been descriptions in comparison against right and wrong, good or bad. Perhaps some of us have been unfortunate enough to be helped into negative thinking patterns by people around us. Bullies, parents, teachers, so on. And therefore we've stored descriptions in our memories. And therefore filled our consciousness with these memories of descriptions. Perhaps we've been in a pattern of having negative descriptions. And now our contents is filled up with negative memories. So, if this is the problem, that we've had negative memories, what we've been storing in our consciousness, perhaps all we need to do is create more positive memories, and then all will be good. You see, the past memories that we've stored are the past, repeating, because the contents of us is who we are. And when I say past, I mean it's already past and gone, but we're living in the past, in our memories, in our mind. And then we say, well, I'll just change all of my thought pattern into more positive thinking, which just means that you will be projecting into the future and running away from the past. This won't change the negative memories that we've stored, but just focus on to the more positive ones, which would be the future. So if these two options of both the past and the future are always going to lie in failure. In fact, actually, the story of something I did whilst trying to learn the stuff I've learned. As I've said in many of my videos, I started off with trying to study what narcissism was. And I know narcissists constantly tell themselves all the good and try to get rid of all the bad. So I once went out for a walk and I dressed up reasonably nice, did my hair and stuff, which, you know, might not sound like it's going to do any use when I've got long, messy hair like I have, but at the time I didn't have long, messy hair. So I went out for a walk, and every car that drove past me and looked at me, I told myself that they think I'm nice looking or they think something good about me, and I kept on doing this. And you know what, when I got back, I felt quite positive, but it didn't feel right. It felt icky. But it was just something that I wanted to try and see what the result was, and I don't really recommend it. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, if we try to produce positive memories, this would be projecting in the future, and it's still not fixing the problem but running away. So therefore, what I'm saying is we're running away from the past memories. We also need to understand that the past memories are already gone, already dead memories. So there is this living in the present moment. We can't live in the present moment whilst shifting through our memories, because the memories are the past. We can't live in this present moment by creating new memories, because that would be the future. So we live in this moment without memories, without trying to create memories, just to observe and be in the present moment. And I know a lot of you are going to say, but this isn't going to get rid of my past habits of thinking negative. Some spiritual teachers will say, well, as long as you understand that there is no you who's having these negative memories, then it doesn't affect you. But it does affect you, and there never was a you having these negative memories. See, I just think this is practice. A lot of us are seeking to try and find the answers, so we're trying to learn more off spiritual teachers or whoever. But we're just really avoiding doing the work ourselves. See, I'm in a situation and a horrible negative memory pops up. What do? I see it for what it is, realize that it has no truth, and I get rid of it. I mean, can you really hear what I'm actually saying there? I'm not speaking just words. You have to do this in practice. I think a lot of people want to run away from actually practicing this. A thought pops up. I see it as a thought, and I get rid of it. I mean, I actually say, done, gone. I get rid. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say. Thanks very much for listening.